So wonderful, this 15th chapter, Yoga of the Supreme Person. Unfortunately, this is going to be the last verse I'm going to speak on, and then we're going to be moving on to chapter 16. Very, very exciting, sort of a unique perspective. Krishna's coming in from a different angle. But still, sticking to chapter 15, I'm on verse 18, and those of you who want to chant the Sanskrit along with me, Krishna says, Yasmat ksharam atitoham aksharad apichottama atosmi loke vede cha pratita purushottamaha. Because I'm transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I'm the greatest, I'm celebrated both in this world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. It's a declaration. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty clear. But let's see what it is that Krishna means when he's talking about the fallible and the infallible. So Krishna says, because I'm transcendental. So we've spoken about this concept of being transcendental. Transcendental means someone who's beyond the influence of matter, beyond the influence of the modes of nature, someone who's not under the influence of karma, someone who's fully liberated, and someone who's fully situated in transcendence. That's why they're transcendental. So, because I'm transcendental now, but Krishna says he's in a different category of being transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible. Okay, let's talk about that. What does it mean to be fallible? Fallible means that someone who can fall down, someone who can come under the influence of the modes of nature, someone who can be mistaken, illusioned, someone who identifies himself with his body and his mind, or is still, even as a spiritual practitioner, is still plagued by material desires. That person is still fallible. So there are the fallible. There are the fallible who are in complete illusion. There are those who are trying to get out of illusion. There are those who are practicing yoga with the idea of establishing their relationship with the Supreme. But they're all fallible to different degrees. To greater and lesser degree, they are all fallible. And then there's the infallible. Infallible are those who have achieved perfection in yoga. We read at the conclusion of chapter 14, Krishna says, Mamchayo vyabhicharena. Mamchayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Now he's talking about saguna. This is the infallible. Those who are beyond the gunas, beyond the modes of nature, sagunan, samatitaitam brahma bhuyaya, who are situated on the spiritual, on the transcendental platform, and who are fixed in bhakti yoga. These are the infallible, the transcendentalists. They are very fortunate persons. They cannot fall down. So they have attained that stage of perfection that we yoga practitioners are searching after. Whatever type of yoga that we practice, this is what we want to attain. So saguna and samatitaitam brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So there's the fallible and there's the infallible. Well, now Krishna says, I'm beyond both the fallible and the infallible. Why? It's obvious that Krishna is not fallible. He can't be fallible, otherwise Bhagavad Gita would have no meaning. And he's being respected, venerated, worshipped over the millennia by self-realized souls as the Supreme. So obviously he's not a fallible being. But why can't he be one of the infallible? Because where there's a question of infallibility, there's also a question of fallibility. And therefore this other word we had here is Chottama, the greatest. This Krishna is unique. He's beyond being infallible because there's never any question for him of being fallible. So there's not a question of necessarily just being infallible, that he can't fall down. He's beyond falling down. He's everything. There's no place for him to fall down. He is everything. Nothing happens without him. There's no question of falling. He is, and we missed out on one verse where Krishna says, Aham ojasa dharayami. He says, I am the law of gravity. In other words, he makes things fall. So he's beyond all that. And he's emphasizing this, saying, yeah, I'm beyond both the fallible and the infallible. So you know that I'm in a category of my own. Krishna's not one of us. He's not one of the perfected souls. He's not one of the perfect souls. He's beyond everybody else. He's unique. He's one. So he says, I am the greatest. So he's Eka. He's that one. He's that one unique person from which all other persons come, under whom all other persons are existing. He is the supplier and maintainer of everyone, but he's independent and no one maintains him. He knows everything and he is independent of everything and everyone. But at the same time, amazingly, he's attracted by bhakti. He's attracted by devotion. Or, to put it in simple words, he's attracted by love. Because love is actually an extraordinary quality, which is one of the potencies, one of the energies of the Supreme, and that is actually what the Supreme is made of. He is made of eternal, cognizant love. That's for another topic. So he then says, because I am beyond both the fallible and infallible, I am celebrated in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Now if you recall, in verse 15, Krishna pointed out, Vedashasar Veraham, I'm the purpose of the Vedas. So the Vedas describe him as that supreme person. He is the goal of all yoga, and therefore he's celebrated in this world as well. It's been going on for thousands and thousands. Actually, it's been going on for millennia. Krishna has been revered as the supreme person. That's the fact, that's the history that's recorded in the Vedas, even though perhaps here in the West, Krishna is new to us. So we should recognize Krishna's unique position, and as will be clear in the next few chapters as we conclude the Bhagavad Gita, therefore Krishna becomes the worshipable object, who is the goal of all yoga, the goal of all philosophy, the goal of all knowledge, the goal of all religion. Chapter 16, something very, very different than anything we've heard up to now. We'll see you then. Hare Krishna.